big breaking news coming in. This is an exclusive news break that you're catching first here on India Today. The Enforcement Directorate has named Bollywood star Jacqueline Fernandez as an accused in the 215 crore extortion case. A charge sheet will now be filed today against Jacqueline Fernandez. Sources said that Jacqueline Fernandez was a direct beneficiary of the money extorted by Sukesh Chandrashekhar. And sources telling us here on India Today that the ED believes Jacqueline was very much aware that Sukesh Chandrashekhar was a criminal and an extortionist. So big breaking news that's coming in. Munish Pandey, who's in fact scooped that breaking for us, is joining us live. Munish, Jacqueline Fernandez is not a witness, she's not a victim, she's an accused in this case.
Yeah, well, Akshita, this is the big breaking news we are bringing to our viewers. According to ED sources, what we have been given to understand is that today they are filing a charge sheet against Jacqueline Fernandez. And in the charge sheet, she will be named as accused in the case. It is going to be a major setback for Jacqueline Fernandez, who has been maintaining that she is an innocent person. She was not aware that Sukesh Chandrashekhar is an extortionist. But what ED believes that she is beneficiary of the proceeds of crime, that is the money extorted from Sukesh Chandrashekhar. Jacqueline Fernandez was benefited by the money which was extorted by Sukesh Chandrashekhar. And remember, 215 crore was extorted by Sukesh Chandrashekhar while he was lodged in Tihar jail. So it's a major setback for Jacqueline Fernandez. We have been given to understand is that there are 3 grounds based on which the ED decided to name Jacqueline Fernandez as accused in the case. The first ground is that Jacqueline Fernandez, in the month of February 2021, she got to know that Sukesh Chandrashekhar is the criminal. Second, in the month of February only, she got to know that Sukesh Chandrashekhar is lodged inside the jail. And also, when Jacqueline Fernandez met Sukesh Chandrashekhar in a Chennai hotel, then also Jacqueline was aware that Sukesh is a person who has a past criminal record. But in spite of all these facts, she decided to receive the gifts which were given by Sukesh Chandrashekhar, gifts worth more than 10 crore rupees. And based on these grounds, ED has now decided to name Jacqueline Fernandez as accused in the case. And in a moment from now, a charge sheet will be filed against Jacqueline Fernandez, where for the first time she will be named as accused in this extortion case. We can say she will be named accused in a money laundering case worth more than 215 crore rupees.
So the Enforcement Directorate essentially busting Jacqueline's version here. She's always maintained that she's a victim of a crime committed by Sukesh Chandrashekhar, that she was conned by him. That's not the case, is what the Enforcement Directorate has said. They go into great detail, as Munish pointed out, to give details of how Jacqueline knew exactly what Sukesh was, that he was a criminal, that he was an extortionist. And what we're picking up is that gifts worth 10 crore rupees was gifted to her by Sukesh. The ED's already attached properties linked to her of 7 crores. 10 crores kickbacks that Jacqueline essentially received from that extortion money, Munish.
Absolutely, Akshita, and it's worth more than 10 crore rupees, and that is why the ED attached her assets worth more than 7 crore rupees a while back. And now, Akshita, it is important to understand the journey of Jacqueline Fernandez from being a witness in the case to the accused within few months. Remember, in the month of August last year, she was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate for the first time, and when she was questioned for the first time, she pleaded innocence. She said she is innocent. She has been framed by Sukesh Chandrashekhar, and she was not aware what Sukesh Chandrashekhar was up to. She even denied receiving any gifts. But later, when ED started recording statements of associates of Sukesh Chandrashekhar, especially those people who were hired by Sukesh Chandrashekhar to ensure that Jacqueline Fernandez becomes a friend of Sukesh. Also, she received gifts on behalf of Sukesh Chandrashekhar. So later on, she was questioned twice by the Enforcement Directorate. Recently also, she was questioned, and when ED recorded all these statements, they essentially got to know that Jacqueline Fernandez is a person who was receiving gifts, knowing this fact that Sukesh Chandrashekhar is a criminal, he is extorting a person, and whether she was participant of that extortionist racket or not, whether she was part of that racket which was extorting the Delhi businessman's wife, that is not, that is not important here. The important point is that she is beneficiary of proceeds of crime. 215 crore rupees was extorted by Sukesh Chandrashekhar while he was in jail, and out of those 215 crore rupees, gifts worth more than 10 crore rupees was given to Jacqueline Fernandez, and this is why now Jacqueline Fernandez is accused in the case. Remember, she has already been banned by the Enforcement Directorate to leave this country, and so far we have been given to understand is that based on concrete evidence, Jacqueline Fernandez has been named accused in this entire extortion case.
Big breaking news that Munish is getting us today. Anytime now, the Enforcement Directorate is going to charge sheet Jacqueline Fernandez, officially then name her as an accused. So far in the investigation, they've summoned her several times. She's not been the only high-profile Bollywood name, Munish. Noora Fatehi, Janhvi Kapoor, Sara Ali Khan, all of their names also came up in the course of this investigation. But none of them have been named as an accused. Jacqueline Fernandez is the first Bollywood actress of all of these starlets who've been named, who's been named clearly as an accused because of the fact that according to the Enforcement Directorate, she knew what Sukesh was doing, and despite that accepted these gifts, took in fact gifts worth 10 crores or maybe even more.
This is a very important Akshita question you asked. Remember, Noora Fatehi was also questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. Statement of Sara Ali Khan, Janhvi Kapoor, Bhumi Pednekar. These celebrities also appeared before the Enforcement Directorate, and their statements were recorded. But why they were not named as accused in the case and Jacqueline has been named accused? Noora Fatehi was given a BMW car. She was given an iPhone. Same is the case with Bhumi Pednekar, Sara Ali Khan and Janhvi Kapoor. But in all four cases, in case of all these four actresses, they were not aware that what Sukesh Chandrashekhar was up to, whether this money, the BMW car which Noora Fatehi got, she was not aware that this money is the same money which Sukesh Chandrashekhar was extorting from a businessman's wife. She was not aware, and based on which the ED decided to make her witness in the case. She is witness number one in the entire case. Now, as far as Jacqueline Fernandez is concerned, she is the only person who was in touch with Sukesh Chandrashekhar for more than 6 months, from January 2020 to June 2021. So I beg your pardon, from January 2021 to June 2021, more than 6 months, she was in continuous touch with Sukesh Chandrashekhar. While Sukesh was in jail, Jacqueline Fernandez used to do video call, aware that the person who she is talking to is inside a prison, is inside a Tihar jail. Also, when she was receiving the gifts worth more than crores of rupees, we have been given to understand is that she was given a horse worth more than 52 lakh rupees. She was given 4 Persian cats worth 9 lakh each. She was given diamond jewelry, she was given gold jewelry, you name it, and she was given everything. There was a chartered flight which was booked for Jacqueline Fernandez, and the cost of that chartered flight was more than 8 crore rupees. So all this was given by Sukesh Chandrashekhar to Jacqueline Fernandez using the same money which was being extorted from a woman in Delhi, and that is why the ED decided to name Jacqueline Fernandez as accused in the case. This is going to be a major setback for Jacqueline Fernandez, because remember, if this charge sheet is accepted by the court, then Jacqueline Fernandez possibly will have to face trial in the case, which means she won't be allowed to leave country for 3 years now.
Exactly what I was going to ask you next, Munish. What next? What does this mean for Jacqueline Fernandez? Could she be arrested very soon?
Akshita, to be very clear, I spoke and I asked this specific question to a very senior ED officer, asking that whether Jacqueline will be arrested in this case or not. I have been given to understand is that as of this moment, they have no plan to arrest Jacqueline Fernandez. But what this charge sheet essentially means, it means that Jacqueline Fernandez will now be accused along with Sukesh Chandrashekhar and 8 other people who have been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate so far. She will be tried under money laundering case. But Akshita, also, this is very important to bring this to our viewers, that whether the court will accept this charge sheet or not, because remember, the charge sheet will be filed. The next procedure is cognizance of the case, and if the court decides to take cognizance of the charge sheet, then of course Jacqueline Fernandez will be tried under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is going to be a long drawn legal battle. But apart from that, the important point here I want to bring it to our viewers is that what if the court decides not to take cognizance of the charge sheet? Because remember, Jacqueline Fernandez's lawyers are also going to, press these grounds that Jacqueline was not extorting the money. She was not the one who was calling the victim. She was not the one who was taking the money. Out of love, if Sukesh Chandrashekhar was gifting anything, how is it a crime to receive gifts? So this is what the grounds of Jacqueline Fernandez's lawyers are going to be before the court. So we have to wait and watch that, what the court is going to do in this case, whether they are going to accept the charge sheet or not. But we have been given to understand that based on the statements, based on the evidences, based on the receipts of gifts which were received by Jacqueline Fernandez, the ED has made her accused in the case, and they will be trying their best to ensure that the court takes cognizance and Jacqueline Fernandez is tried under Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
This is going to be essentially a big legal action now against Jacqueline Fernandez. The Enforcement Directorate has been investigating this case. Her name, yes, is cropped up before, but it's for the very first time that the EDs confirmed that, yes, we have concrete evidence to name Jacqueline Fernandez as an accused.